Helicopter pilots were the first support to the cattle producers. Helicopter pilots were the first support for cattle producers in the unfolding tragedy of the northwest Queensland floods. These men became the unsung heroes of the disaster. I'm grateful today to have Zane Haberman with me. Zane was just one of the many pilots who went above and beyond the call of duty to help our producers in their darkest hour. Thanks, Zane, for coming in and being here today. First of all, could you just, there might be some people who don't really know what a chopper pilot does. Yeah. So can you just fill us in?
Day-to-day job is just mustering cattle from the air. Same deal as the blokes on the ground, but we just do it from the air and cover large areas and bring cattle, bigger mobs of cattle a lot further distances, and just to yeah, it makes everything a whole lot easier.
Yeah. I remember my father-in-law always says their place up on the Burdekin Dam, they used to muster for 11 months of the year, and now they condense that to 6 weeks of the year. So it just makes everything a lot quicker, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
So Zane, you live 1,000 kilometres away from Julia Creek.
Yeah.
What made you decide to pack up and leave your little family and head out there to help?
I'd been talking to Jay in the week leading up to the floods, and she said that it was, as the week progressed, it was getting worse and worse, and she was a bit worried about it. We were meant to go to Landmark, but we couldn't get there, so Ben was down there selling our horses, and I thought if I could help them out, Ben was helping us out, and that I probably should. And Daniel and I, we had the tools to make a bad situation a little bit better, so I spoke to Jay late one afternoon, and she was pretty upset about it all, and I just said I'd be leaving at daylight in the morning I'll pick her up and we'll go up there. See what we can do.
Yep. So she was on another place that's actually ironically in drought still. So you picked Jay up and she left her 2 kids.
Yep.
And you and Dan went with her. So what did you find when you got to Kaiwara?
Oh, we got sort of halfway from Bibble to Kaiwara, and I could see things that were getting pretty bad, like a lot of dead cattle stacked up in corners of paddocks. And
did you expect that when you left?
I did, but not to the degree that we seen. Like, once you actually seen it, you just thought, holy, it's a whole lot worse. And like Jay had said, you know, there's cattle standing in up to their stomachs in water, and you know, a lot of cattle washed away or whatever. But until you actually got there and seen it, it was pretty.
So was there water still there, or had the water subsided?
There was still a lot of water there, but it had gone down a lot. Like cattle weren't really standing in water when we got there, or some were, but we managed to sort of get them to a bit of high ground. But I was worried from what Jay was saying, that when we got there we wouldn't be able to feed them because they'd be still standing in water. But
asked Jay for more.
No.
So you were even trying to shield her from what happened.
Yeah.
And I guess in a way, because her husband was away and she'd left her kids back at the other place, and you became her emotional support, you and Dan.
You know, it's hard shooting any of them, but it's pretty hard shooting hers because they're all stud cows, and she knows them all, and you know, we all know what Jay thinks of her cattle. She loves them, and it's pretty hard to, well, in the end I wouldn't go back and tell her that I'd shot more. I just, you know, because every time he did, she just get more upset and more worried. So
And Jay was telling us about the calves that you had to grab and take back. So how did that go?
Well, when it dried out enough, Jay and I went out on a motorbike each and caught them off a motorbike, and we could only get a bike then, we couldn't get them back to the road, so we put them in a wool pack and slung them home under Dan's chopper. So he said they weren't real happy when he landed at the yard to let them out.
So how many at a time would you throw?
3 at a time or something, But Jay caught a lot more once we'd gone home, and she could get around a Toyota and pick them up. So
Now, I just, as I said earlier, all of you were the unsung heroes. And I know Jay said to me one night, she said, oh, the boys, they're flying late at night and that's even worrying me. But I know that all of you went above and beyond the call of duty. So, and everybody was talking about it. So even though you probably didn't realise at the time, you were being hailed as heroes, all of you. And there were a group of girls, Rachel Crozier, Sal McHearing and Jodie Anderson, got together and they decided that they needed to acknowledge what you'd done. So they put together these beautiful caps called Legends with Blades. They did the logo and everything. Yeah. Every helicopter pilot is going to get one of these, but you're the first one.
Thank you.
Yeah, and they're going to sell them to raise money for Sisters of the North. So saying thank you for everything you did for everybody out there.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching our video. I hope you enjoyed it, and please try to remember to just click on the subscribe button so we can keep you updated with everything that's happening. Thank you.